What's up, everybody? Just give me a second getting set up here. I get my lights up. What up, what up, what up? Get all this set up right. What up, guys? What up? Alright, let me get my vacuums and everything set up while people are getting signed on. What up, what up, what up? It looks like we got one person on. We got a mini cutting board tonight to go with. It's a exact replica of the big cutting board that I made for a customer. She wanted matching ones. So we're finishing this up and shipping this out tonight. And I got some new dust collection tools, and we're gonna see how they work. We're gonna see how they work. We're gonna see how they work. So you remember the dust going everywhere? Ain't gonna happen. Nobody's in the chat yet. What's going on? We got people watching, but nobody in the chat. See these little ports I got on all my tools now? See? Fancy. Watch this. It's like quick connect. And then when you want to hook it up, boom, that easy. Nobody's watching me do this, but they will be. Notifications must not be working all that well tonight, huh? People like the late night cutting boards. They like the late night cutting boards. So that they can stay up all night long and watch me do cutting boards, you know what I'm saying? I'll wait a little bit longer here. Let's see if we turn something on. You hear that? The suction is louder than the actual vacuum. That's crazy. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, we got 20 people watching. Hey, if you're watching, let me know who you are in the comments here. I can't see any of the comments. You guys talking or what? Let me know in the comments. I just got to get some more sandpaper in my other sander. See that? That's the rigid. We got the, so now we got to work. We can use the rigid again without dust going everywhere. Maybe my comments are just wacky right now. You go from one sander to the other. Oh, maybe not. Maybe this battery gets in the way. Huh. All right, I gotta finagle this a little. What up, Jamie True? We gotta finagle this, I think, the other way. There we go. Okay. Okay, now we put the clampy back on. There. What up, Dr. Left Hand Thread? What up? So, yeah, so these little ports go onto like your dusty tools, like your sanders or your routers, right? And you can go from tool to tool. Watch this. It just clicks right in. It's so easy, it's stupid. You take it out. This one's actually a pain in the ass. I will say this one is a pain in the ass. I don't know why this connection is always a pain in the ass, but it is. But the two sander ones, you just go, boom, boom. Dude, the suction coming through this is louder than my actual vacuum. So, if you guys remember the other night, we made this cutting board for a customer, right? Right? Remember I told you it had the little bit of hint of red in there because she's a redhead and I threw that in there? Well, she liked it so much, she wanted a mini one to match it. So we made her a mini one. So we're finishing these up, finishing this up tonight, and we will be delivering it tonight. And another one bites the dust. I'm going to try and share your live here. Thanks, Doc. Keto, I can't read all that. I'm just going to call you 2966, brother, all right? Just keep doing what you like. I am going to keep doing what I like. Because I like doing this. See how that works? All right. I got to get some sandpaper for this one. I think Captain Dick used all... No, he didn't. He didn't use it all. Never mind. All right. Jesus Christ. See what just happened there? I almost just killed myself because of a cord. That's why I hate cords. I hate them. I absolutely hate them for that reason right there. I almost just killed myself because I got my track saw plugged in to my extension cord here. I got my Stelsonic dust collector plugged into my extension cord so that I can have the sanders right next to my work table here. And I almost just killed myself. Literally. You guys saw that. But you saw, I'm also very nimble for a big guy. Little athleticism, you know. I may be getting older, but I still got something left. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Most big guys, after tripping over a cord like that, would have tumbled like a house of cards. Because they got no coordination. And I'm in flip-flops, by the way. So, eat your heart out. All right. Can you cut into these boards? Yeah, why not? Laugh out. Every time I trip, I blame Jimmy for being in my way. Can't see him down there. All right, we're going to find out how good this Rockler dust collection kit works. I got it hooked up to my DeWalt Stelsonic dust extractor. We're going to use the rigid one at first, and we'll use the Bosch, and then we'll see how it works on the router. Okay? Yes, Big Cat. That's a good name. Go cordless. Protect your local neighborhood. Listen, 98.9% of my workshop is cordless. There's only 3 tools that aren't. My planer, my shop vac, or whatever you want to call it, and my track saw. Everything else is cordless. Miter saw, table saw, the other miter saw, my bandsaw station, it's a liar. My rigid belt sander and spindle sander that I absolutely hate and never use because it's so wonky. The table is so wonky you can't trust it. That's corded. So I got like 3 or 4 corded tools in this whole shop. What up, Pine Tree? All right, we're going to get started here. We're going to start sanding and see how this dust collection works. I should probably have the vacuum on the other side of me because I'm right-handed. Instead of the cord always in my way. So I don't trip on my ass again. get these cords the hell out of the way. Stupid cords. There, much better. 1:14 p.m. where you're at. It's time for bed. All right, let's see how this works. Let's turn around. Whoa, that's different. All right, I gotta admit, that's different. Like it sticks to the, it like suctions to the stock a little bit, and I wasn't prepared for that. It's like hard to move it around. I guess I got to adjust the suction over here. You can adjust the amount of suction over here. So we'll just turn it a little bit. Still different though. All right, these bench cookies aren't doing a damn thing, so we got to go to plan B. It keeps knocking them off. We got to go to plan B here. That's definitely different. Some tools cannot handle full suction. I mean, I got the suction all the way down, and it's still, I don't like the way the sander moves. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. So we got to clamp this damn thing in. That's why I like this table so much. You can just clamp shit in. Stay. Stay. Cool. Let's try this again. I like the no dust. Alright, let's get that little... It's probably better than dust everywhere, though. I don't know, Pine Tree. I don't know. I mean, the bags do a decent job of getting the dust in there. It's a matter of then emptying that bag after you're done so you don't get it everywhere. But it does keep the dust off your piece. I tell you what, though, it's harder to sand with that thing on there. Like, it, like, grabs the wood, and it doesn't want to move freely. Oh, thanks, Doc. Thank you for that, brother. Tool Squatch is the only content creator that is visible from space. I hope so. I hope so. That would be nice, though, right? Thanks, bud. And if any of you don't know, which I'm gonna bet most of you do know, Doc over there runs a live stream every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. That's the time that I live in. I don't know what the other times are for you guys or what time it is for him on his side of the pond. But he fixes tools and brings them back to life, and it's very interesting to watch him take shit apart, put it back together, and make something that looks completely horrible and that most Americans would just toss away and throw away, and he brings it back to life. Me and Christina watch his channel all the time. We'll sit in bed and just watch video after video of Doc fixing stuff. Christina loves his channel. Next one, January 4th. There you go. So he's not going live during the Christmas. He's taking a couple of week break. Next one, January 4th. All right, so it's looking like right here on this seam that there is a little gap there, which can happen when you got these thin strips. These thin strips, they're easily can bow and just go in a direction you don't want to. It's okay. It's an easy fix. We just take a little bit of our stuff here with some accelerator, and then it'll take a couple of minutes to cure. But then that will ensure that this is a good bond, and then I don't have to worry about it. But you don't want to hit the accelerator right away on this stuff. You want that stuff to seep into that tiny little thin crack. You want to give it time for it to seep in there so that when the accelerator does hit it, it bonds it, okay? I also got black. It's a little bit thinner from when I'm working on walnut, because with walnut, there are countless knots and holes in the wood that you got to carve out. You either fill, if they're small, you can use this. If they're big, you want to fill them with epoxy. Like black epoxy usually works good with walnut, especially once you oil it up, because the walnut turns a darker color than what it is when you put the oil on it. So I got Steve Ott's cutting board right over on the glue up table over there. And there's a few spots where we're going to have to patch them up, but that's what you get when you work with walnut. There's definite cavities and stuff you got to fill with it. Doc, I may need you. Josh's favorite vacuum. What? How did my vacuum die? You broke my vacuum yesterday when I brought it up because you suck stuff up with it that's not meant to be sucked up with. You just suck up everything. Oh my God, Christina. My shop vac? What shop vac? Oh, that one. Nah. The shop vac. I thought you were talking about the Ryobi vacuum, the handheld one. But yes, my DeWalt StealthSonic shop vac just decided not to turn on one day, Doc. DeWalt ended up sending me a bigger one as a replacement, but they didn't want the original one back. So if it's just a fuse or something, if I can get two for the price of one, screw it, right? If it's just a fuse or something that's easily fixable, you can never have enough shop vacs in a wood shop. I'm finding that out because, honestly, I want a stationary vac just on my planer. I want a stationary vac just on my table saw, and a stationary vac just on my miter. And then I got little vacuums to do this dust collection stuff with. Because it's a real pain in the ass going tool to tool to tool and having to unplug the vacuum, put in the black. It's just it slows me down. Oh my God, it slows me down so much. Did this get hard yet? Not quite fully hard yet. Give that a couple of minutes. We'll talk a little bit. You Got AIDS. If there is a mod in here, y'all may want to get rid of You Got AIDS with the rainbow flag. We don't do politics here. We don't care if you're gay, indifferent, straight, white, black, brown, yellow, purple, or blue. We got no time for that stuff. Thank you, Pine Tree. You're the AIDS guy. All right, I'm going to hit it one last time with a little bit more accelerator. And then we'll sand. And then what you do is you sand that. That will sand right off flush. And then that is that little spot there I won't ever have to worry about. Rare but atomic. What does that mean, Christina? Fights around here mean flying Christmas trees. Christina, that hasn't happened in over a decade. Like, Jesus Christ, you make me look like a crazy person. All right, let's give this a little sandy cool. Now it's like it was never there. Hey, MS. What's up, brother? Thank you for the super chat. Hey, Josh. Been a while. Thanks, brother, for the super chat. It means a lot. So, we built an exact bigger version of this cutting board a few days ago for a customer. And she liked it so much, she wanted a matching mini-me to go with it to sit on her counter to look all pretty. So, we're finishing up, and we will be delivering this today. All right. Now we'll do a little 120 grit. All right. I hope this is one. Yep, 120 grit. Watch this. Watch this. You ready? Of course, make a liar out of me. There. See how easy that is? Now you just take the hose. Boop. I mean, that's easy. I will say it's going to take some getting used to that suction, grabbing the product like that. It's going to take a little getting used to. What? Why are people being goofballs today? We need new Polar Express. Oh, come on. Yeah, anytime you guys see those mods, just get rid of them. What up, Jim? What up, Fix-It Jimbo? Just showing off the new dust extraction stuff. There's no longer big clouds of dust happening while I'm sanding, and I don't have to wear that goofy mask anymore, which makes it nice for when I'm live streaming. My fingers aren't strong enough to pull the hoses off. So if you have repetitive stress injuries like I do, maybe you have a hard time. No, I just think that they're brand new. Anytime something that clicks in and out that's brand new, it's kind of hard at first, but the more you use it, the more it clicks in, like them edges round off a little bit, and then it becomes much easier. All right, we're going up to 120 grit. I see it, but explain it real quick. Okay, this is the hose. It's a 12-foot, it's a 3-foot to 12-foot hose, okay? It expands, and when you don't want it to be expanded, it kind of just coils back up nice. So it hooks up to your dust extractor or your shop vac. It comes with these attachments that hook up to your sanders, your routers, track saws, although it doesn't hook up to my Vevor track saw. The thing is, you only get one of each diameter. You get 4 of them, one of each diameter. So they make you have to buy more kits, even though you don't need, say you need like a certain size. You got to buy the whole kit. It's stupid in my opinion. But you hook it up to your whatever tool you're using. You clamp it in. It's got like these little hose clamps on there. They click right in, and then it's just a quick thing. Boom. Boom. You can adjust the suction here. See how it's got the hole showing? If I push that down, now the suction is 100%. It covers it up. But what that does is it really pulls the sander down on the board, and it becomes very hard to sand, as I found out when I first started this up. So I'm finding out that I got to have the suction on like halfway for it to be effective while you're sanding. On the router, it'll probably be good fully closed. see that? How it sucks up and this is a very small, light cutting board. But, yeah, it picked that up with no problem. So imagine trying the sand with it stuck like that to your material. You're trying to move the sander in a certain way. So you got to definitely dial in the pressure or the suction that you want. But I will say, I don't see any dust flying around in here. I love it. I love it. It's just going to take some getting used to, that's all. I may have to get newer bench cookies. I think my bench cookies are shot. They're not sticky anymore. They're not really sticking to my surfaces anymore. It's either that or I got to wash them really good. I don't know what it is, but the bench cookies are not, they may have, I don't know, I've done about 50 cutting boards with them, so maybe they're getting to the end of their life cycle here. While we're doing all this, yeah, it does suck, MS. While we're doing this, don't forget, guys, you can become a member of the channel for only 99 cents. Yes, and guess what? It's going to pay to be a member because once we hit 10K subscribers, I got a bunch of brand new tools, factory sealed in the box, that we're going to be giving away. And if you're a member of this channel, when that giveaway happens, you get more tokens in the raffle to win those great tools. Some of them are M18 oscillating multi-tool, Dremel Blueprint oscillating multi-tool, maybe even the Dremel Blueprint install driver. We got the M12 subcompact drill and impact driver kit with batteries and chargers. We got a skill inflator. We got all kinds of shit. So help us get the 10K subscribers so we can give shit away to you guys. And become a member so that way you guys get more bang for your buck in that drawing. Ask Jimbo. He became a member and he won our last drawing. So it pays to be a member. Remember those MasterCard commercials? It pays to be a member. Yeah, Pine Tree, I am fresh out. I usually do that. I'm fresh out of acetone. I got to pick some up. And I use a lot of acetone at my pro shops to wipe off the bowling balls and stuff. I tell you what, usually this table is covered in dust when I'm sanding and doing all this stuff. There is hardly any dust on my table. That Rockler kit, I paid 20 bucks for it. Definitely worth the investment. Definitely worth the investment. I also had a 30% off coupon on it, but hey, you know, to each their own. I like it. I like it. It's just got to get used to it a little bit, that's all. Only got 2 people watching. What happened? Did my internet go out? I think everybody left me. Christina, did I freeze up? Okay, internet's fine. Good. Good. All right. That's 120. Let's get the edges here, and then we'll move up to 180. And I think I've been finishing them up at 180. I got these new sanding nets, 400 grit from Diablo. These sanding nets. I think we'll sand this one up to 400. We'll just see. If I don't like it, I'll put it back to 180. Ooh. The Skill Sander does not have the option for dust collection, which kind of, I mean, when you're talking about a $9 sander, you can't really be too picky. I guess it's got that, but it doesn't have a port, you know what I mean? It's got that to collect the dust, which I like this better because it doesn't escape this. This is plastic. Them bags are porous, and sometimes the dust can still get out of there. But it doesn't have a port to where you can hook up dust collection to it. But for $9, I'm not going to complain about it because it's actually not a bad little mouth sander. Okay, guys, if you guys are looking for a detail sander and you're not going to be using it, and I use this every time I do a cutting board, so I use this a ton. You can tell it's been used. I've been using it for about a year now. If you need a fine mouse detail sander and don't want to spend 100, 120 bucks, these are like $9 right now, guys. Like, go pick up one of these. Like, you can find diamonds in the rough in some of these DIY companies, and the tool works just fine. What up, Steve Ott? What up, what up, what up? What did MS say? Design a table like your bowling ball drill where it holds down your material with suction. Well, that sounds simple, but there's a huge compressor underneath my drill press that causes that suction to hold the ball in. You need like something crazy amount of pressure to hold in a heavy bowling ball while you're putting force down into it and drilling into it. It's not as easy said than done. You also got to take care of the gaskets, and you got to have gaskets and all that type of stuff. So that would be a major project. That would be a major project for sure. Hey, Steve. Here you go. That's your cutting board. Curing up over there. I think tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow because tomorrow is my bowling night. I probably won't be home till late, but maybe Thursday. Probably not Thursday either because that's my bowling night too. Who knows? I may not even go to bowling on Thursday night. I may just take the night off. But maybe one of these 2 nights here will sand your cutting board up live and finish it up live. MS, I screwed up drilling a ball once. I accidentally broke the suction on the press and the ball literally shot across the shop. It was terrifying. Well, it's because you don't know what you're doing. I mean, you gotta make sure the pressure is set before you start drilling. You can't just press the button and go because there's engravings on bowling balls, and if that engraving is sitting over the seal, it's not going to seal. I don't think I'm going to do 400 grit on this because I don't want it feeling different than her other one. You know what I mean? We'll do it on Steve Otts. We'll get Steve Otts silky, silky smooth with the new sand nets. That's the one we'll do it on. All right, let me get some water. Oh, yeah, let me get some water. Get this dust off of here. And then we'll put the tiny feet on. I got these little tiny feet that I use a 5/8 inch brad nail to put on with a little glue. Be right back. Don't go nowhere. Do 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 do. Elevator music while you're on hold. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right, we're back. Back to your regularly scheduled program. Oh, the red showed up so much better on this one. We'll see what happens once we oil it. And I used all the same wood, too, from the same piece of wood, so that it would be as close as possible to the other one. All right, let's get the bench cookies out. Oh, we got to router it. What am I doing? I'm getting ahead here. I'm putting the water on it. We didn't even router it yet. Now, seeing how it's smaller, I wonder if we should do, because we did a 1/4 inch round over on the other one. Seeing how this is smaller, though, maybe we should only do an 1/8 inch. Yeah, this is not really a functional cutting board. Like I said, she got a bigger cutting board exactly like this one, and she wanted a small one to match it so that she could, like, set it up on her kitchen counter and kind of, it'd be like art, you know? It's kind of like a matching little one. This would be like, you know, if you're just slicing up some cheese or cutting up some cheese, just small stuff. You know what I mean? This would be for small stuff. If you're making a 12-course meal, this is not the cutting board. The other cutting board I made her would be the one to use. But honestly, I don't think she's going to be using it. She just wants to display them. A lot of people do that, actually. All right. Yeah, screw it. We'll do the 1/4 inch round over on it. We'll do the 1/4 inch round over. Let's see how this works with this. Now, I got a cord here, or a hose. I'm not used to using a hose while I router. So, say a prayer for me. All right, so that wasn't bad. Very minimal. I mean, I'd say it probably collected 85% of the dust. So, not bad. Don't be a jackass. Oh, who's being a jackass now? How would you know? I use cutting boards a lot, and that's small. Okay, bro.
He's gone. He's gone. No point even fighting him.
Bro. Even though he can't say anything, he can still watch. He can still hear. Bro, I used to be a chef. I ran restaurants. Okay? Some people just want them to match their functioning cutting board as a decorative item. That's exactly what she wanted this for. She wanted a mini matching cutting board. I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand what's so hard to understand about that. There's the one that she's going to use, but this is like a mini matching one to be a decorative item in her kitchen. I don't know. I don't care. It's what the customer wanted. This is what she wanted. She's paying me to make her something, so I made what she wanted. People never cease to amaze me. Josh, do you run bags in your shop vac? They really help with the filler not getting clogged. I run, yes, on my Stelsonic, I do run a bag, but on my Rigid that's hooked up to my planer and my table saw, I do not run a bag because it would fill up way too quick. And I just beat out the filter every time I take it out. So. All right. Little sandings on the edges here. I should probably router it first and then sand. I don't know why I always save the routering for last. You know, I'm going to have to sand off some of this. You know, sometimes it burns a little bit, you know. I've got something hilarious for y'all. The hoodie I bought from Josh's store, I forgot I had it on when I walked into the house, and this homeowner called the office and complained and asked for a discount. Oh, shit. I'm sorry, bud. Oh, shit. I told you, Christina, that was a little bit too much with the middle finger. People can't wear that shit around. Alright, little 180 and then time for feats and Nick. Purple Heartwood. Yes, Purple Heart, Maple, and a hint of Padauk. This is the matching mini cutting board that she purchased for her big cutting board. Almost done, guys. Almost done. See you, MS. Thanks, bud. What up, LFL? What up? now we'll do the water again. Do 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 boom boom. All right, now we put some feet on it. Let that absorb the oil real quick. Vacuum up this tiny bit of dust I got here. So this dust extractor stuff really worked really good today. With the quick connects and everything, it worked really good. Right. Gotta find little feet. Little feet. Little feet. Alright, we got some little feet. Now I gotta get my tiny brad nails. Or pin nails, sorry. Bear with me, guys. I gotta grab some smaller pin nails. Actually, we're gonna use the brad nailer. I only got 5/8" brads. So we'll pull out the M12 brad nailer. This is a good little tool right here. Great little brad nailer. Compact, lightweight. You know, the whole kit and caboodle right here. Get a little super glue. I like to eat everything. What's up with Miss Squatch? I'm eating Chinese food for lunch in honor of Josh. I don't know how that is in honor of me. I'm not a big Chinese food eater. About sweet and sour chicken is about as far as I go with Chinese food. Come on. Stupid thing. Now I got to figure out which side is the bottom, which side is the top. I think this side should be the top. Yeah. Hit it with a little accelerator. Boom. Okay. Okay. We went to a Chinese buffet like 15 years ago, and I ate orange chicken, mashed potatoes, and ice cream. That was worth it. Yeah, I don't know. I eat with my eyes before my anything else. If it looks weird to me, I'm not eating it. If it smells weird to me, I'm not eating it. It's just how I am. I'm a simple person. Meat and potatoes, baby. Give me a steak and a baked potato every day, and I'd be happy for the rest of my life. Come on. All right, let that dry a minute. No wobble. That's what I like to see. And we're going to dial this down just a little bit because I don't need it shooting through the other side. Actually, I don't even want to shoot these in there. I think they're too small. Okay, good. Oh boy, of course. It had to crack it, right? It had to crack the wood. I knew that was a possibility, and that's why I didn't want to shoot him. Shit. All right, we just got to do a little patcharoo right now. Damn it. Got to do a little patcharoo. That's what's the problem with these little feet. You don't want them falling off, but then you run the risk of this happening, and it just happened. All right, we'll let that seep down in there. I'm trying to get Caleb Ross to eat cow tongue. Oh, hell no. I am finishing up a cutting board. We just ran into a little snag, though. As I was shooting that tiny brad nail in there, it cracked the wood. So I'm patching it up right now. I wish I had super small pin nails. Do I got small pin nails? I'd rather use a pin nail than this. seeing if I got smaller pin nails lying around somewhere. Brad nail was a little too aggressive. Nope. Damn it. Well, I don't think I'm gonna do that again. I think I got to get smaller pin nails, so. Bear with me, folks. I'm just trying to get the tiny little bit of glue that seeped out on the edges here cleaned up before we oil. I learned a trick to get super glue off your fingers. Sandpaper. Yeah. Know what else works? Acetone, gas, paint thinner. This is what happens when you woodwork. Sometimes shit happens with the wood and it doesn't cooperate like you want it to. You just gotta improvise a little. It's okay. Get it all fixed up. Won't even know it's there. All right. That was a little bit of a pain in the ass, but we got her done. Got her done. The feet's cleaned up. Get all the excess glue off of the feet. Okay. All right. Now the best part. This took a little while. This one was fighting me a little bit. I want a rigid tower light Dremel tool and detail sander. Here's the hoping. I haven't had any issues with the sand net yet. I like it. I like being able to take it off and just shake it off. And I don't know. I think you get more sandings out of it. Don't even know that crack's there. She's looking good. She's looking good. She's looking nice. All right. Let's see here. Let's get this oil-soaked rag out of the way. My hands wiped off. This wiped off. There she is, guys. What do you think? Nice little cutting board to match the other one. I don't like how the wood cracked at the very last minute over here, but we repaired it, and honestly, if you're not looking at it, you can't even notice it's there, so. Tactics is live. That means we gotta go. Is he live with Robert? He's been live? What the hell, man? He usually doesn't go live till like 9 o'clock at night. That's why I figured I'd try to get this in before he went live. All right. All right, we'll get out of here, guys. I'll just show you a little. It's the big one. It's the little one. Squirrel. Poor tactics. Just gotta wait for these to absorb a little bit. We'll put some ODs on it and deliver it in the next half hour or so. Mini me cutting board. Yep. I think they came out great. Besides that one little flaw that happened, but guess what? That's what happens in woodworking, guys. Every piece is unique. You're working with a once live organism. Stuff happens, and they're easily fixable. We fixed it, so it'll be all good. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for hanging out with me for the last hour and 20 some odd minutes. Y'all are great. You can become a member for 99 cents. Why don't you go do that? Because we're doing a big giveaway as soon as we hit 10K. If you're a member, you got way more chances to win the great shit we're giving away. So go become a member. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and always like and comment. And don't be a douche. Just be a nice person. And we'll get along just fine, right? All right, guys. See you later. Tomorrow night or maybe Thursday night, we'll finish up Steve Ott's cutting board. See y'all later.